spoiler, Nijika was not the first Kessoku band member Bocchi meets. I know, quite a shocker. But now you may wonder who was the actual first member she met. Well, this can be answered by looking at the first Epigraph manga of Bocchi the Rock. When we open the first page, we are greeted with the most anime of all anime tropes, cherry blossoms in full bloom. You know the drill. Slow petals, soft breeze, a spring when outro is coming. Wait, wrong anime. Maybe even a stock piano track if this were animated. Kessoku band stands there, admiring the scene like any person would do under the blossoms. God, I wanna visit Japan one day! With cherry blossoms comes the ceremony season, and the band begins to feel nostalgic about the very beginnings of their high school days. Nijika starts to change, feeling the age creeping in, stating how she and Ryo were so young back then. Ryo, on the other hand, can't remember a single thing, probably because of that peanut brain verse. Kita turns to Bocchi, curiosity gleaming in her eyes, and asks about her entrance ceremony experience. Bocchi doesn't answer. She freezes, as if the question unlocks something deep within her. The world slips away, pulling us into a flashback 1 year earlier, the very first day of high school for Hitori Goto. For the detail-obsessed viewer, you might recognize this panel as it was briefly shown on the first episode of the first season in Bocchi's first solo song. We have the oh-so-rare, 1-in-a-million sighting of Bocchi without her pink tracksuit! Alright, line up people, that would be 1 Dorito per picture of the school uniform pink preacher. Her dad is proudly snapping a picture of her in her fresh school uniform, celebrating her big step into high school life. But of course, Bocchi being Bocchi, she's not exactly striking a confident pose here. Nope, she looks awkward, shy, and visibly unsure about having a picture taken. And you know what? Can't blame her. Don't you just hate it when someone forces you to pose for the camera and the only pose you can think of is awkwardly showing a peace sign or check mark? And what's worse is that her dad keeps on snapping, not letting go of the shutter button. As more snaps fill her auditory senses, her anxiety levels begin to rise greatly. Until... Oh, shit! I'm gonna clean this later! Remember that iconic moment from episode 5 where Bocchi vomits like hell after becoming gay after the audition? Well, from this epigraph, it is evident that it's common for the lovable pink creature to react this way under high stress loads. As her mom and Futari seem unfazed from this. Instead of her mom saying, Bocchi! Ano nangyari sa'yo? Kakapili lang natin yung carpet na yan, ha? Linisin mo yan! Diyos ko, ba't nagsusuka ka pa? She and Futari talk about the vomit as if they're watching the weather forecast. Then Futari, the sweet, devilish, innocent younger sister, drops the verbal equivalent of a WWE chair.
Is he gonna make friends this time?
Brutal. Absolutely brutal. You can see Bocchi take psychic damage from that one. Immediately triggering, yes, more vomiting. Her dad then optimistically throws out a big, hopeful statement about Bocchi making 100 friends. Okay, what in the comment sign is that claim? Boy, I don't even have double-digit true friends in real life, and now you're saying that Bocchi can make 100? Way too ambitious, not gonna lie, and would definitely not add more pressure to Oh, she just exploded again. Still, it's a nice send-off. They wish her the best of luck, and with her stomach finally, maybe, settled, Bocchi heads out the door toward her first day of high school. The next page has Bocchi hopping on a train, which by the way is one long train ride. A redditor was able to conclude that Bocchi spends 2 hours just commuting to school, which if you add in her part-time work as Starry, her band practice, her school, yeah, Bocchi on average has only 5 hours of sleep. As someone who spends 6 hours a school day just to commute, I can absolutely relate to her. You poor thing. Someone give Bocchi a hug. Now I know 5 hours might sound normal for some of you, but this is a teenage girl we're talking about. On her train ride, she stares into the outside world through the train's windows. Except instead of thinking about romance or dreams, her brain is running full anxiety panic mode. Her internal monologue spirals into whether she can really make 100 friends. Her master plan of starting a band, then getting famous to drop out of school, to what her teachers might be, and ultimately having second thoughts on going to school or not. She got so lost in her thoughts that she was surprised that she's already in front of the school gates. Girl went into zombie mode, dropping off at Shimokita Station and walking like Sonic to school, which sucks as she initially planned to walk extremely slow to reach school for 45 hours to avoid people. Honestly, relatable. And then, as if the universe wanted to give her a preview of her worst nightmare, she spots him, an aggressively extroverted guy loudly declaring that his goal for high school is to have 100 girlfriends. Not 100 friends, 100 girlfriends. Hey, at least I have more than Kazuya could ever imagine. Bocchi's entire soul recoils at the sight, trembling in equal parts fear and cringe. Somewhere deep inside, she probably thought, if people like him exist here, maybe I should never come to the school after all. Bocchi decides she's not going to just walk through the school entrance like a normal person. Oh no. Her genius plan? Wait it out until the crowd thins. 15 minutes should do it right. Well, if Bocchi's going to wait for 15 minutes, then I'm waiting for you to hit the subscribe button and like this video in 1.5 seconds. 15 minutes later. Still crowded. Okay, maybe another 15 minutes. Surely by then, no. Still a human wall blocking the way. This behavior of hers waiting it out until she enters a place can also be seen on episode 2, where she goes around in circles waiting for the perfect time to enter Starry. Bocchi. She is completely baffled. More students just keep on coming and coming. The more she waits, the more her courage meter drains. She's been holding out for the perfect opening, the golden hour moment when the coast is clear, but her legs refuse to move forward. It's desperation without action, which we know is a natural habit of hers. In the middle of this personal crisis, she glances up and sees the cherry blossoms above, the same ones everyone else is enjoying as a symbol of new beginnings. But for her, it's just a soft pink reminder of how stuck she feels. She lets out a sigh, shoulders slumping, and mutters under her breath, I'm still a complete mess. And she's absolutely right. Suddenly, someone calls out behind her. She turns, and lo and behold, it's none other than Ikkyo freaking Kita, radiating joy and shining brighter than the actual sun. With her trademark bubbly tone, Kita points out that Bocchi has a cherry blossom petal stuck to her. And here it is, the very first interaction these two ever had. No guitars, no live houses, no running away. Just a stray flower petal and a girl who's too friendly to let it slide. Bocchi's response? Absolute cinema! Silence. Not even a squeak. She's clearly startled that for the first time, someone acknowledges her existence. Someone treats her as everyone else. Kita takes off the petal and goes off on her own way, greeting everyone she sees with a good morning, leaving Bocchi behind. Bocchi watches as she goes. And here's the thing, that tiny interaction, that simple acknowledgement that she exists, was enough to flip a switch. It's wild how something so small can hit so hard. Just being noticed, just having someone take a second to interact with you. For many of us, that's the difference between taking that step to a life-changing experience or being stuck at home for the rest of your life. It's also kind of poetic. It non-verbally tells Bocchi you exist, and that's enough, giving her just the push she needs to step forward. She gathers herself, lets out a small good morning in response, and finally steps into the school. Of course, she's still anxious, but hey, progress is progress. And just like that, we're back in the present. Bocchi's standing under those same cherry blossoms, her mind still replaying the first day of high school. She's wondering, almost doubting, if it was really Kita who spoke to her back then, the one who gave her that small but life-changing push. And then, it happens again. Kita notices a cherry blossom petal stuck on Bocchi and leans in to pluck it off. All smiles and sunshine. Bocchi freezes in place, startled again, as if her brain just short-circuited from deja vu, I have been in this place before. It's practically a frame by frame of their first interaction. History just repeated itself. Meanwhile, the rest of the band is already chatting about what to do this season. Kita throws out the idea of going flower watching together, which is very on theme. Nijika loves the idea instantly, and Ryo, well, she agrees, but only on one condition. There must be tango involved. With that, we have broken down the first Epigraph chapter. And man, oh man, I can't believe it. Because if you think about it, if Kita hadn't noticed that cherry petal on Bocchi, she wouldn't have talked to Bocchi at all. And if she hadn't, then Bocchi might have given up and turned back home, probably to never go back to school. And if that was the case, then the events of the anime will never happen at all. And if the anime didn't exist, this fandom, this community, this Filipino voice you're hearing right now wouldn't exist. So, despite my bias for the Dorito-haired and her VA, I have to admit that the real MVP is none other than the petal! That freaking petal that landed on Bocchi! I told you people, spring in Japan is the best! Okay, just kidding. Kita is the GOAT. I remember a quote I repeated throughout the Kita character analysis video. If Nijika leads the group, then Kita pushes it. And this is the first ever instance of Kita pushing the band. She pushed Bocchi to become a better person, and to an extent, to her journey to join Kessoku band later. If Epigraph 2 made me fall for Nijika more, then this one makes Kita an even greater god. So thank you, Kita. If it wasn't for that tiny gesture, we wouldn't be here today. Also, there was the usage of shoujo elements in this chapter, making it seem like a romance manga. Hamasi-sensei, I know what you're doing. Thanks for watching this video. I know it's been a long while since the previous Bocchi video, and I deeply apologize for that. But very soon, I'll hopefully bring out the long-awaited analysis videos for Kikiri and Seika. Just bear with me as I'm a college student trying to balance things out. But it will happen, no matter what. Shout out to the channel members for their endless support, and for you the viewer for watching this video till the end. Okay, off I go!